Continue to get you all those proceedings coming in as discussions over the Women Reservation Bill continue. We're now shifting our focus to some breaking developments now coming in, and this is what government sources are telling us here at CNN News 18. Government sources are telling us that implementing women reservation without census and delimitation exposes the bill to be illegal or exposes it to multiple legal challenges. There has to be a criteria for reserving, which is reserving seats for women. The present data to determine that criteria is old. Remember, the last census was in 2011 and delimitation was done even earlier. Implementing any reservation, be it the OBC quota or women reservation, requires the latest data, and that seems to be becoming the challenge in implementing this bill immediately. Remember, this has been the biggest criticism that has come in from the opposition. While opposition is supporting the idea of the women reservation bill, their question is why not now? And this delimitation clause that in fact has been put by the government is ensuring that the opposition continues to be up in arms. And now we're giving you the rationale as to why possibly it will take longer for the women reservation bill to become a reality. Because if you look at the entire delimitation process, you need the latest census data. And if you don't have that data, this could pose for the bill to have legal challenges going forward. We'll try and establish a connection with our colleague Aman to try and understand what are the kind of discussions, deliberations that are going on, and what are the legal challenges that are in front of the government as well. But as I pointed out, even as the opposition is agreeing to the existence of women reservation bill, their biggest criticism against the government has been with the delimitation clause, because many of them are asking that this is a demand that has been put forth by various opposition parties for years together. Then why is it that it's still taking time for it to become a reality? And this delimitation clause, as we pointed out, requires the latest data as far as census is concerned, and that is why this process could take a bit longer. Let me just check if we have our colleague Aman to try and understand what are the kind of concerns and what are we picking up by the means of government sources. But as we pointed out, the biggest concern as of now is that if you do go forward and implement the women reservation bill without census and without delimitation, that exposes this entire bill to various legal challenges. And that is something, of course, the government at this point wants to avoid, because remember, as we pointed out, there has to be a criteria for reserving which seat goes for which women. The present data to determine that criteria, as I pointed out, is much older, because even if you look at the census that was done in 2011 and delimitation much prior to that. I believe our colleague Aman, in fact, is now through, is joining us from our newsroom. Aman, this has been the biggest criticism against the government. While the opposition is agreeing that yes, the women reservation bill needs to become a reality, but why the clause of delimitation? Help us understand what are government sources telling you.
See, what the two main criticism which is coming from the opposition, as you correctly said, why is the bill not being implemented immediately? What about the OBC sub-quota, and why bring a new bill when the UPS bill was already passed by the Rajya Sabha, and that the Congress claimed that bill has not lapsed? So take it point by point. The first point, basically the government is saying that to implement any new reservation, there has to be a criteria. For like one particular seat is being reserved for a woman candidate. Why is that particular seat being reserved for a woman candidate? There has to be a criteria fixed for that. For that criteria, you need a fresh census. You need a fresh census and a delimitation exercise. Otherwise, if you push through the current women reservation bill and start reserving seats, it's up for a legal challenge, because people may go to court and say on what basis was this particular seat fixed for a woman candidate, because the latest data you have right now, the census data is of 2011. The delimitation data is even older than that, so the data is very outdated. As we all know, due to the COVID pandemic, the census was delayed in 2021, and now it's expected only after 2024 Lok Sabha elections. So once the census happens, as per the Article 82 of the Constitution, first a census has to take place, then a delimitation is done, and post that, any kind of reservation, be it for women reservation or be it for a OBC sub-quota, if it is ever thought of at that stage, will take place. There is, however, a silver lining to this, that the delimitation which is carried out next after the census post 2026, delimitation is frozen till 2026, is expected, the new delimitation exercise is expected to increase the number of Lok Sabha seats in the country. the number of Lok Sabha seats in the country are 543, but that number is fixed. Since 1976, it has not been changed for the last 45 years. So once the delimitation happened, and the population has increased nearly 3 times since 1976. So the delimitation exercise will also lead to larger number of Lok Sabha seats. There will be, instead of 180 seats which are right now reserved for women as per the current bill in the current Lok Sabha strength, will also go up. So the women will even get a better deal than that. That is the logic that is coming from the government, that one, it is completely illegal to do it right now without a census and a delimitation. It will go into legal challenges.
True.
Number two, women will get a better deal. And on the point that why a fresh bill is being brought. So there is one key change in this bill from the UPS bill. The UPS bill said that the seats reserved for women will be rotated in every general election. Now there was a lot of uncertainty over this, because if a person is, for example, elected from a seat today and the next election he knows, he comes to know that seat is reserved for a woman candidate, why would a candidate work from that seat? So to remove that clause has been removed by the present bill which has been brought by the Modi government. There will be no rotation of seats now. A seat which is given to a woman candidate remains with her for the next 15 years. That seat remains reserved for women. So this major change required the bringing of a new, fresh, updated bill. So this is what is coming from government sources about the criticism that is being mounted by the opposition, and also being asked that why did if the Congress was so eager to bring the bill so quickly, as Sonia Gandhi is saying today, why did you not bring it to the Lok Sabha after you got it passed in the Rajya Sabha with the BJP support? So you did not bring bill to the Lok Sabha for 4 years of your tenure. From 2010 to 2014 because of ally compulsions, but now you want the BJP to push ahead with the bill immediately, which might be an illegal step, what the BJP sources are saying.
So crucial points that Aman is highlighting for us. One, as he is highlighting that if you bring it without this delimitation process and census, then you open the bill for legal challenges. What he's also clarifying is that there is going to be no rotation as far as these women seats are concerned. In fact, this new bill, when it does become a reality, you will have women getting more seats post this entire delimitation process that is over. Aman, we'll just request you to stay on with us.